Hello everyone, welcome back. Today is January 26th and it's a little later in the day than I would normally like to start, but today was a busy one. I already did some shoveling outside. Like many places, we got quite a bit of snow and it did have a frozen crust layer on top, so shoveling was a bit tricky, but nothing I can't handle. Also, it was great exercise. Of course, after coming home and having some hot tea, it was absolutely time to take a shower. And here I am, still with my hair wet. But I'm excited to tell you that before I got in the shower to clean myself, I made a spontaneous decision to clean the bathroom. And not only to clean it, but to deep clean it. The day has finally come when it's time to deep clean the bathroom. I have all my bathroom stuff packed up. I only left a few things that I will use to wash myself afterwards. But other than that, I'm clearing out the room and getting ready to make everything nice and shiny. So today has been quite a workout already between shoveling the snow, deep cleaning the bathroom, and getting myself all nice and clean and fresh. Now that I've had some lunch and did some editing, it's time to get back into it. So today we're going to be decluttering in my bedroom. Let's go! The plan for today is going to be tackling some of these boxes here. Obviously, I got all these woven boxes to store stuff before I had cats. Now, they're a little tricky. I know that the middle one has all kinds of electronics, old and somewhat recent. I know that this one over here has gardening stuff, which I already have in a different bin somewhere else. And the one on top has cards and things like that. I think the two bottom ones are crafts and office supplies, but at this point, I don't even remember what's in them. They've been stacked here for a little bit. So I'm going to pull as many as I can within the next maybe half hour or so and try and go through them. Okay, I looked through everything and here's the situation. This bin here has a lot of my letter writing stuff. So it has stamps, envelopes, cards, Easter cards, Christmas cards, every occasion cards that I can think of, even some blank thank you cards and things like that. So everything that is fitting in here in this bin, I'm going to put the top back on and we're going to keep it as is. This would be where I would go for cards for different occasions. I did find some extra Christmas cards in there and I thought I didn't have any Christmas cards. I actually bought some this year because I thought I didn't have enough. Well, it turns out I have plenty of Christmas cards. I didn't even need to buy those. That is the problem with having things everywhere. So these Christmas cards I'm going to put with my other Christmas decor stuff because that's where I look for cards apparently. So I'm going to just move these somewhere else. I found these two little notepads. They're kind of winter themed. So I'm going to use them up now for shopping lists and things like that. I found my old Metro card and there are also some train tickets under there. So I'm going to be keeping these. Metro card obviously for memories. Train tickets, probably memories, or maybe I could still use them. We'll see. But I'm going to put this somewhere else. Now, I have a whole box here of floppy disks for anybody who remembers what those may be. And I have no clue what's on them. So I think all of these are going to have to go, including the broken box. I have a pencil that I need to rehome. And I have 3 boxes of these thank you cards that have really not been used. But I'm going to ask around and see if anybody needs them. If not, they're going to get donated. I also have this little sign that I got for someone for a gift. That's why I guess it was here with the cards. But then I didn't end up seeing that person and never gave her the gift. So I think at this point, I am just going to let it go. I'm going to donate it. Let me put everything back and then I'm going to count out how many things I'm getting rid of from this one box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 items so far. This was my original gardening bin where everything was supposed to fit, including the seeds, but now I have seeds in a separate container. I think I have to change that container out, but I'm not going to do any of that until spring. So let's see what I have in here. I have a soil testing kit, which I still want to use. I have a notebook where I make notes for planting, some foil to scare away the deer, some other gardening stuff like markers and things like that. I have some netting. I think most of the things in here are fine just the way they are. So I'm just going to put things back, and if I come across anything that I'm getting rid of, I'll let you know at the end. All right, so there was nothing that I'm really letting go out of this bin. There's some actual garbage that I'm going to throw out. That doesn't count for anything. There are these clippers from the dollar store, I think, that I'm going to take with me to the car because I need them in a car. And then these gloves that I had put in here initially, I realized these are not gardening gloves. These are more work gloves. So I'm going to put them back with all my tools. Other than that, I still have quite a bit of space here, and I could definitely be storing seeds if I organized everything better. But like I said, that's more for next year. There's a lot of little things in here, so I'm just digging around to see if there's anything to let go of. Okay, here is what we have in this other box. There is a lot of random stationery stuff in here, but it's all useful. It's all things I could use up, so I just have to know that it's here. I need to organize my office stuff much better so I have access to everything, and everything's one spot, and I know where that spot is. So I put everything back in here the best I could. I am going to keep that. That's going to go back into this big box right there. There's another little container of little things, a lot of flash drives in there, so I'm keeping this one as well. I have a hole punch. I have some extra scissors. And I have this little notepad, and I usually have a notepad like this on the fridge, and I know the one I have on the fridge is on its very last few pages. So this will go in to replace it. I also have to remember that I do have a lot of post-it notes in here that I could be using up, so no more buying post-it notes, but that's also great because I love using post-it notes. I do have a lot of space left in here, so once I come across other office-related stuff, all of that can go in here. Now, for what I'm getting rid of. I am moving this letter opener to where I keep my mail because it's useful. I am letting go of this stationery set that was in here. It has cards and letter writing supplies, but I don't really use any of that, so I'm not going to keep it. As hard as it is because I've probably had this for 25 years. So I'm just going to let that go. I also found 2 of these heart-shaped photo holders that I haven't used, so I'm going to let those go. I have a Chuck E. Cheese's token, and I don't need that. And this pen holder was something that someone brought as a souvenir, I believe, so I've held on to it even though I don't like it or use it. But it's time to let that go. So that's another item right there. Oh, let me put this pencil back here in the office stuff, because that's still good. So with our pile of 16, let's add these to that. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 21 items so far. I think I'm gonna call it quits there because I'm slowly running out of time. And I'm also feeling like I am not in the best frame of mind for letting things go. You know, sometimes you're just in the mood and you're like, oh, I don't need this, I don't need that. And sometimes everything seems important. Everything seems like it still could be used. And then it's really hard to let stuff go. So I don't want to go any further because I'm in that keep everything mindset. So that's not the best day to go through these random things. I went through these 3 boxes right here, and there are 2 more that are left. And I just wanted to give you a glimpse. This one, like I said, has some electronic stuff, and that one down there has crafting stuff. So these are definitely going to be tough ones to get through, and I'll leave them for another day. All right, 21 items for today. Not bad. I was actually able to check off 22 boxes on my list today because when I went to clean the bathroom, I realized my little tiny heater is broken. So I'm not going to try and figure that out. That's going. So 22 items total for today. Woohoo! My last productive act of the day is going to be washing my laundry. My bedding, to be more specific. I still don't have a fitted sheet to replace this one, so it's just going to get washed and put back on. Nothing like sleeping on freshly washed bedding.